All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to another Patch Notes. Another 2 weeks has went by, and now we have returned, albeit very sloppily. Hold on. There we go. Lovely. So, we're back for patch 10.10. Uh, some things about everything. I've been heavily into Warframe, and I've played, I think, 2 games of ARAM since last patch, at the most, to get the Volibear icon. And that might be representative of I'm not too sure of the state of things in League, but we'll see what happens. As always, I'm not too sure of anything in League, because it's League. But, nonetheless, we are here reviewing the patch. Now, I can already tell you, next patch is going to be a doozy. The patch for... When's 2 weeks? Oh, hey, look, a new follower. Thank you. Oh, Charlotte14 is hosting me. Thank you, Charlotte. Next patch, which is on the 28th, is going to be with the new Astro skins and whatnot. There's a major contention point I have about that, which I'll bring up, during then. But basically, Riot took their big fucking money dick and slapped it across the ADC's mains faces and said, here you go. But we'll get into that in 2 weeks. So anyway, this patch, they're looking at old friends who've been struggling a while. Udyr, Nidalee, Sivir, for some reason, even though I think she's okay. How we've missed you. A lot of what it looks like jungle changes, which I'll keep reiterating. Riot fucked their junglers. Their solution, let's buff non-junglers and let's fuck the junglers. But anyway. Trees, daggers, gems. Okay. Oh, and Earth is back. So, yeah. Okay. Big news. I forgot to say. So, I said in the beginning of this, I've played Warframe nonstop for the past 2 weeks. Tomorrow is my last day of class, quote unquote. I still have finals this week and next week, but then I'm officially a college graduate. Hooray. But tomorrow, after my final and after class, the League event for me has started, the new Pulsefire event. So that means more League content starting tomorrow. And basically playing League, I think, every day, if not for most of the day. At least 1 game a day. Because the event is coming out and I want tokens, which gives me skins. But anyway, enough nonsense. The skins. Okay. When I saw these skins, I got very upset. As did a couple people I know. Yeah, no way, Michelle. As did a couple people I know. They got upset at these skins. Because, number one, these skins are for people who already have them and don't need them. And number two, they're kind of shitty and ass. Pulsefire Echo is kind of shitty and ass. He has better skins. He got a legendary. He has a lot of skins. Pulsefire Fiora, it's okay. I mean, to me, it's probably her best skin. She doesn't have good skins. So that one's alright. We'll give a pass on that one. Pulsefire Pantheon is decent. It's kind of shitty. I mean, they have Dragon Slayer and everything. I don't know. I think Pulsefire Pantheon's shitty. Pulsefire Lucian is decently good, and he's the one who got the prestige, so I don't know what I'm going to spend the tokens on. I want to spend it on chests, because again, you could get the prestige skins from the tokens, or from random chests, so it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to spend the tokens on, but another AD finally got a prestige skin, aside from MF. And aside from a woman, someone actually said on Reddit, a lot of women are getting the prestige skins, which was true. But anyway, player behavior. So, if you follow League and you've been living under a rock, basically Voyboy, the boy, has started a huge movement in the League community, criticizing Riot, rightly so, I would like to add, about the state of the game in terms of toxicity and the player base. The player base has just gotten worse and worse and worse. People just fucking curse at you, and just ruin your games, and then they get off scot-free and people just don't like the game, including me, and then don't play it unless we're incentivized to. So it took Voyboy making a 10-minute very sad video addressing this and basically saying, Riot, come on, man, what the fuck? And Riot actually listened, and Riot always, quote unquote, listens, but it's whether they get results or not that matters. And their changes, traditionally in their history, have not always hit the mark. So, I mean, it's good. They're unlike other companies where they do very much listen. Riot is very in tune with their communities. They listen like no other company. The question is, are they competent enough to actually put in the change? I don't know. Or even figure out what the change should be. I don't know. But Void Boy's video addresses a lot of things about that and provides a lot of solutions which I, as well as I would think a lot of the League community, agree with. But anyway, let's see what we're going into. Last week, we told players about our short and long-term plans to address deliberate game-ruining behavior. Basically, they said you could report in Champ Select, which is good. Our proposed plans aren't meant to target those who are genuinely having a bad game. How do you decide that, though? But those who decide that the game is over on their own and then spend their time trolling others instead of trying to play their best. I always try and play my best, because I'm a great player. The first of our short-term plans is to adjust our reporting and punishment system, thank God. I remember back in my day, just like Void Boy says, people were scared to fucking end you. People were scared to troll. If they got mass reported, they'd be fucking banned like nothing. They were fucking terrified of Riot's big fucking fist right up their little asshole. But now, because Riot's making so much money and is the fucking hand puppet of Tencent, they've gotten lax because they want money and it's a free game. So I wish we could go back to the way things were, especially with ADCs. But that's, again, in 2 weeks, we'll say that. Anyway. Okay, champions. Annie, the fucking little girl who wears makeup better than most women. I think Annie's in a really good spot. She just keeps getting buffed. Annie was traditionally, like, the burst mage mid, or at least one of them. And you played Annie if, like, you really want to do good in team fight. There were certain champions you picked that did good in team fights because Annie has, like, a flash stun nuke that just wins if she gets it off correctly. And then they nerfed her burst. They nerfed her Q. They nerfed her E. They nerfed, I think, the W. They basically nerfed everything. And then they reworked fucking Tibbers into a damage over time nonsense. And then they kept buffing her and buffing her and buffing her because the Annie mains were like, yeah, she was ridiculous before, but they kind of turned her into trash. So now, I think she's okay. I don't think she's great. She's probably going to get buffs. E damage reduction increased. Wow. Tibbers burning aura buffed. So the damage reduction went from 22 to 29. Early, it doesn't really matter because early, no one does damage enough. So 29% damage reduction, that's pretty good. She survives a lot of burst. 1/3 damage reduction almost. And Tibbers' aura is doubled. And the AP ratio went hugely up. This is such a huge change. Wow. Now Tibbers really does do like damage over time, but it's serious now. It went from a 0.1 to a 0.12. That's crazy. And if you can't tell the sarcasm, it's not. I mean, the base damage being doubled is great. The scaling's kind of duty, so it's whatever. This is a good Annie change, though. Ultimately, she just does more damage and survives more. Does she do the same damage she used to do? No. Is it getting close to that? Yeah, we're on the way. So, pretty good. Diana. Diana was a whole mess. We all know what happened to her. Reworked, OP, nerfed, kind of shit. But still decent. She basically covers her old niche. You get fed early, you win and carry the game. You don't do shit, basically. So I'm assuming they're gonna maybe buff her? Let me see. Diana's a scourge for average and skilled play. I don't think she is at all. While her ability to be aggressive in lane is intended, which she is now, she isn't paying the appropriate cost for putting herself at risk. And they're nerfing her health and AD by 0.04. This does nothing. She's gonna be the same. Irelia. So Irelia is the same thing as Diana. She got reworked, she was extremely busted and overloaded, and then they slowly took things away from her kit that made her not unique, boring, and doing no damage. So there's that shit. They're buffing her E damage by 10 early, by 30 late. This doesn't really do shit, because the cooldown for the E is so goddamn long, it's insane. How long will I be playing Fort today? Oh, I'm not playing at all today. I'm only doing patch notes. Katarina. So I see Howard play Katarina a lot. Howard cannot carry on Katarina because Katarina is a bad champion. Yeah, if you get ahead on her, you could get stupid ahead and do a lot of damage. But I feel like unless the enemy team is just really, really stupid and bad, or the Katarina is just really, really, really good, the Katarina can always fall behind and just still lose out the game because she takes everything and doesn't do like anything with it. Oh God, Charlotte, please. So what are they doing? They have to be buffing her. If they're nerfing her, there's something wrong in their heads. Uh, they're actually nerfing her. What the fuck? Wow. So they're nerfing the passive, which I believe is a majority of the damage too. They're nerfing it by a point 0.1 scaling later to a 0.88 scaling. That's insanely bad. Her late game already like I don't know. She could get going and do great, but she can't fucking carry unless the enemy's a bunch of potatoes. It's stupid. She's so fucking bad. I hate Katarinas. God, they're so bad. Unless she has a team, but at that point you could play anyone get fed, and if you have a team, you'll win because of them, not solely because of you. And on Katarina, it's worse. I just hate Katarina. She sucks cock. And they're nerfing her. I don't think they should nerf her. I think they should buff her, if anything. Okay, Kane. They've been slowly buffing this guy as well because he's so fucking weird with his little transformation bullshit. It's fucking weird. I have no clue. Um, I don't know. Kane just is getting buffed and buffed and buffed, and I don't think they seem to realize Shadow Assassin sucks ass. You will almost never go Shadow Assassin unless three things are happening. Number one, the game's guaranteed auto win. Number two, you're trolling, or number three, you're stupid, which is different from trolling, but it's like in a similar vein. Rost is just too good for what he does. He does, if not as much damage, more. He does less burst, but more damage over time because he just lives through shit. He provides CC. He's very tanky. He does damage. Kane, Shadow Assassin, goes in, probably kills the AD, but who the fuck doesn't do that at this point? Kills the AD and then either leaves and is useless or dies and is useless. It's like Rost is just so much better. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna nerf Rost or buff Shadow Assassin until Shadow Assassin's OP. Let's see. While Assassin form seems to be in the right spot, it's not. Rost benefited a touch too much. He always does. So we're nerfing his utility. So the damage he's healing from is 30 to 40 instead of 34 to 43. That's honestly fine. He does survive a good amount. And then he does percent health damage too. So if he's against tanks, he's just fucking living forever. So this is actually a good nerf. I think this is okay. To reel Rost in. Not saying Rost is OP, but he's definitely up there as like really good. And a good team. Kled. Kled is kind of just, simple. He's either good, he's either bad. He could be in between. I think right now he's in between. He's good if you just want like to fucking kill, and if you're in a certain lane, he's very good. In certain lanes, especially. Where he just goes in and fights and bullies like weaker early champions. Nasus. Even though Nasus eventually rapes him. Yeah, Kled is okay. He loses matchups. He wins some matchups. He's very simple. I think he could be buffed. He's a little on the weaker side, I think. But he's definitely not weak. But he could get some help. What are they doing? Higher cooldowns mean the Fearless Yordle has less than Fearless Lizzie, who will think twice before fishing Fox in the other levels. That's the one thing about Kled that I think is a little stupid early. I mean, he's supposed to be good early and then transition decently well into mid to late game, which he does do. He's not the best, but he's not bad. Again, I think he's like middle of the road. Early, he just is such a bully with his Q because you can not only cast it for free, it does pretty good damage and it goes through minions. And it's like, yo, what the fuck, man? He's poking you out with the Q, which he does. It's not really hard to hit anyway either. I don't know. It's a little stupid. So increasing the cooldown on it is very, very good to me. I like it. And it's going from 9 to 11. But the late game cooldown is the same. This is great. This is fine. It's really reeling in his early pressure, which is fine. By a couple seconds. Okay, MF. This bitch has to get nerfed. There's no way she's not getting nerfed. She's too fucking good as an AD, but that's under the overlying issue of ADs just all suck ass. and she's the one who hasn't been touched in like basically the longest, aside from Corky, but he's not really an AD. I fucking hate how MF is the best AD. She's not bad. She's actually pretty fun. I actually like playing her. But God, I want the ADs I fucking play to be good. I want the auto attack, hyper reliant team tank ADs. I want Jinx, Twitch, Kaisa, Jhin, maybe Ezreal, maybe, to be good again. Fuck MF. Fuck her hot ass. What are they doing? W max bonus move speed decreased. Yeah, it's insane. She got a free fucking Moby boots. Come on. 60. Wow, they're nerfing it all game. 50. 60, okay, so they're nerfing it by 10. That's fine. That's pretty good. It doesn't kill her, but it definitely hurts her. She's an immobile AD with just a slow. So, Maokai. I think the tree... I don't know. I think the tree's pretty fucking good. Because, they've nonstop buff tanks. But... how good really is he? I feel like he's fucking unkillable sometimes, but that's because I'm not playing Vayne. And a tank is supposed to be tanky, and Maokai is like one of the tanks. So, it's a weird spot I'm in. I don't know if he's good, like too good, or just right. I'm going to say he's too good. I say if we're going to see anything, we're probably going to see nerfs, but let's see. Maokai's at the top of the top lane. Yeah, he actually felt pretty good. But not dramatically so. Yeah, not too good. Giving him a small nerf to his nip this in the bud. So his mana's going down by 2 point something. And then his Q's going up by 10. This is actually great. This is a great change. I think this is fine. He already traditionally has mana problems early. And this just makes it so I guess you're not a menace. Even though you weren't. It just makes your laning harder, which is fine. Because you have a lot of survivability on Maokai. It's stupid. But this is fine. This is a good change. Okay, Nidalee. Nidalee fucking sucks ass. If you play Nidalee in my games, you are trolling me. I hate Nidalee. Nidalee blows cock. Hopefully she blows my cock one day. But I remember when I started playing in Season 4, 6 years ago, or maybe 7 at this point, she used to be really fucking good, and that's because her spear could, like, almost one-shot you. Almost. But it's like, I don't know if they nerfed her the jungle. Well, they nerfed the jungle. They nerfed everything, basically. So she just sucks ass. I feel like if you're playing Nidalee, and to a lesser extent Lee Sin, Lee Sin's a little better than Nidalee in my opinion, because of what they bring to the table. Nidalee and Lee Sin both bring things that help their team. A heal and an attack speed buff for Nidalee. For Lee Sin, an ulti that CCs if he does it correctly. But both of them, like, to get their usefulness out of the team is really hard. Oh, and Lee Sin brings a shield too. It's really hard because they usually either it's too hard to do it or it's not impactful enough. And then they don't do enough damage and they do fucking nothing. And I hate both these characters. But Nidalee's pretty fun. And they're obviously going to buff her. There's no way they nerf her. She's weak. So let's see what they're doing. We're looking to bring our hunters back on the prowl. Yeah, because all your junglers suck ass. So we're okay, yeah, no one cares. So the Q Javelin Toss AP ratio is going up by 0.5 to a 1.5 maximum. That's actually really fucking good. Max range spears should now, like, really do a lot more damage. It's going from 1.2 to 1.5, like, ability power. That's insane. That's really fucking good. Yeah, she's getting a lot of her Q poke back, which is really fucking good. In fact, this might be so good. I remember when it was, like, as good as it used to be on Nidalee. She used to go in lane and fuck with people. But this is a really good change. I think she might need a little more, but this is definitely really fucking good for her whole... What is Nidalee known for? The Q. And they're buffing the Q. This is great. This is good. Okay. Sivir. I don't think Sivir's in a bad spot. I mean, I know they're buffing her. They'll almost never nerf Sivir unless Sivir's the best AD. And they'll nerf her hard, unlike MF. But Sivir's like a very baseline AD. Like, you want people to play her to learn AD, in my opinion. That's probably what Riot thinks. Or just have a safe, decent pick that, like, you're useful to the team even if you don't do that much damage. Can she be buffed? Yes. Is she a little weak? Yeah, but she's supposed to be. It's her kit. It's her whole thing. What are they doing? Empowering Sivir's mana loop to encourage players to master the art of using her spell shield. See, actually, okay, I was gonna say, why don't you decrease the cooldown, but that would make Sivir too safe, especially with Morgana. So, I agree with the change of increasing the mana. It's only by 10, but early it's by a lot more. It's by like 30. So that's actually insane. That's really good, actually. Holy fuck. I didn't think the change was going to be this good. This is a really good Sivir change. If the enemy has to be really careful about giving her mana early, because she's a very safe AD with the spell shield, and she has decent ranged poke that does decent damage and wave clear. So, if you're not careful, the one limiting thing about Sivir early is her mana. I mean, she obviously can't brawl you one-on-one unless she lands the Q and then leaves in the fight. She's really good at poking, if you're good at her. So it's like, the one limiting thing of her early is her mana. If you essentially give her mana by using telegraphed abilities on her, you're making it worse for yourself. And Sivir's Q is actually very strong, especially since they buffed it. But this is insane, actually. This is really good. I actually really like this change. Okay, Soraka. Again, I haven't played League in 2 weeks, so I don't know how Soraka's doing, especially after the non-stop buffs since the nerf top lane. But I think they're probably going to buff her some more, maybe, or nerf her. It could go either way. I think she's still not as good as she was support, but she's not as bad as she was after the top lane nerfs. If I had to take a coin flip guess, I'd say they're going to buff her. Hopefully. I hope they do. Okay. The Star Child's enemies are going to be seeing stars. They're basically giving her back everything that made her an issue, but whatever. So the base damage is going up by 10, which is fine. And the health reduction is going up by a decent amount early, which I guess is fine. If you have the Q on it, I guess. Yeah, this is fine. It just makes her heal more and then do slightly more poke. But the main thing is the heal. The heal change is really good. She loses less health if she heals you with the Q on her. Taric. Similar vein to Soraka. There was a point where supports were so good at being something other than a support, they got nerfed for it. Because supports are, I guess, supposed to be bad or something. I don't fucking know. But supports are supposed to be bad, and they were good because they were, like, Taric was going mid, funneling Yi, not being a support, basically, but kind of being a support, but, like, a weird, wrong way of it. And then Soraka went top, and look what happened there. So they're probably going to buff Taric, because, again, supports are pretty weak, and bot lane is pretty weak in general. Unless you're going mages down there, which, at that point, in my opinion, it's not bot lane. So, base health growth decreased, W bonus armor ratio decreased later. They're actually nerfing him, wow. We're making Tarik's survivability skew more towards his ability usage. So they don't want him to be inherently tanky, they want him to survive, though, through using shit and then, I guess, proccing his passive, which is fine. His health growth is 85, so overall he's losing 5 times 18, which is, 5 times 10 is 50. And then 40. So he's losing 90 health late. That's nothing. Who cares? And the W Bastion, he's giving, instead of 20% of his armor late, 14% of his armor. Taric traditionally doesn't build too much armor. I mean, he kind of builds some. So I guess this definitely does, like, take a hit. But it's probably a minuscule amount, like maybe 10 armor. I doubt it's over 10 armor that he's losing out on giving, which is fine. This is fine. Twisted Fate. TF is very, I think, like Sivir. He's a very simple guy. Not too much, like, complication in his kit. You basically go TF if you want to learn a lot of how to play mid lane. And he's a pretty decent pick, too. You learn how to roam on him. You learn how to just, play the game. Do damage, poke, not poke, farm. Because you're incentivized to farm. I don't know. He's pretty good. I would say he's on the weaker side, though, just because he's so simple. So I'm assuming they're going to buff him. Base attack damage and armor increased. Our mana cost decreased. TS been dealt a weak hand as he's been getting lost in the shuffle. Yeah, okay. And they have him in every fucking cinematic now, so it's like, I guess they want to buff him to make him look cooler to newer players. His AD is going up slightly. Doesn't matter. Unless you're going ADTF, which even then it still doesn't matter. His armor is going up by like 0.468, which doesn't matter. and his R mana cost is going down, which is pretty good. His R mana costs a lot, but it's a long ass cooldown anyway. So, I mean, these are okay changes. They don't matter though. These are changes that don't matter but are okay because they're better, but they don't really impact anything aside from the ulti change. The ulti change is actually a lot of mana saving, which is good. Udry. Oh, Trick is gonna be happy about this one. I know what's gonna happen here. So basically, Udyr is getting what I think to be a massive fucking buff, especially for Trick. I wonder if they mention it here, but we'll see. But I know about this change. I saw it on PvE or Surrender 20. I was like, God damn, this is crazy. Trick's gonna have like a lot of fun with this. So let's see. I think Udyr's bad too, and apparently he is really bad. But I think he's still good. Ironically, like he's really bad, but you could do a lot of work on him. He's a very high skill cap champion, I think, which is weird because he's so simple, but he's complicated to use. He's not mechanically difficult. He's like intellectually difficult, I guess. You didn't have a lot of game knowledge and kit knowledge for him. But once you know it, using it is pretty easy. You just fucking click an auto. But anyway. The Spirit Walker has been walking a lonely road since he's not performing particularly well anywhere. They're probably looking to Trick. For someone who is historically one of the fastest champions in a foot race, he's fallen quite behind the curve. We're bumping up his base move speed so he can bear down on prey. Wow. So the move speed is going up by 5. Trick is going to be fucking insane with this. Health is going up by point whatever. Mana is going up by 0.6. Mana regen is going down by like 0.06. This is okay. Everything but the move speed is like good, and they're not touching his damage because his damage is fine. I guess it's just he's a little lackluster. But yeah, this is crazy. Trick's gonna have field day. This is a great change, especially for Trick 2G and Udyr. And Udyr has a lot of base move speed. It's actually insane. 350. A lot of characters either have like 330, 325, 335 maybe. Like that's around the range normal league characters have. So for him to have 350, you definitely feel it. And then he gets bear stance to increase it. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy Lou. It's going to be crazy. All right. Earth balance changes. So I'm actually going to slightly look at these, but let's see. I'm excited for Earth, too. I'm probably going to play a lot of that just to get tokens and because I don't like regular league. But anyway, Earth returns in 10.10 on May 14th, which is tomorrow, Thursday, the day of my class. My last class in third final. So this is Pick Earth. So, I'm assuming you get to pick the champion, which is nice. Veigar incoming. So Ashe... Okay, yeah, no, I'm not reading these. These are stupid. Alright, bug fix, no one cares, and the skins I talked about. Okay, and then we have some decent-ass chromas, actually. Holy shit. Which is nice. Okay, so, overall, this patch actually addressed a couple things I thought were pretty good. A lot of... I don't think there really was a change that was too bad. Yeah, there was some people I thought should get buffed, but I didn't think they shouldn't get nerfed either for where they were at. There was no nerf I was like intensely against this patch, and they did help Silver in a meaningful way, so they did do a good AD change. Overall, I would rate this patch 7.5 Marc Merrills out of 10. Pretty decent patch. The next patch is probably going to get a low rating because... Again, we'll go into it in 2 weeks. But they basically pissed on our face and expected us to be happy about it as AD mains. But we'll get to that. So anyway, 7.5 Marc Merrills out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll probably be on tomorrow for the event after I do my work. So I'll see you guys then.